Hi everybody, it's Claire with another art journal project for the Scrap FX design team. So again, I'm playing in the craft junk journal and just working on one page. So I've added a little bit of matte gel medium onto the page and I'm just sticking down some collage paper. This is the Wise Words collage paper, which is from Scrap FX. I'm kind of just adding a piece to both sides of the page. Sorry about the dog, I don't know if you can hear that. And I'm going to be putting a few pieces in the middle. So really this is just to break up the background a little bit and just kind of make that first start on the page. I think as well, like sometimes the blank page is scary, this is a really great way to start, just to get some interest in the background to start off with. It can be a way to sort of get rid of that initial feeling of fear of, oh my gosh, what do I do next? So I'm starting off, I'm going to add some rainbow colours onto this page. So I've started off with Dina Wakley Media paint and I'm using Ruby, Cheddar, Lemon, Lime Turquoise and then the Permanent Red Violet Light from Amsterdam Acrylic. It's my favourite pink. I do have magenta from Dina Wakley Media, but it's gone a bit thick and gloopy in the tube. It's one of the older design, larger tubes, so this other pink was a better option. So then I've used this really large brush from Dina Wakley Media. I think it's the 2-inch brush. And I've just dipped my brush into those paints and picked up some of the colour on the brush, and then you just swipe it down the page. It's a fabulous way to get lovely colour onto your page in a really quick way. And then I'm using this Circles Galore A stencil, which is designed by me for Scrap FX. There's a whole set of, there's A, B and C, all different configurations of circles, great for adding onto journal pages. And then I'm using the Crazy Circle stamp with a little bit of white. I really do need a new white ink pad, as you can tell. It's not very it's not showing up very well. I think maybe it's dried up a little bit, so time to invest in a new one. And then I am using the script stencil with, again, some of that Permanent Red Violet Light from Amsterdam Acrylic. I just love the way that little bit of scripty text looks on the background too. So that is my background ready. Then I'm going in with the L stencil, which is one that I also designed for Scrap FX. You get 2 images with this, the positive and the negative. And this one I'm using the actual stencil rather than the kind of mask shape that comes out. And I'm using black paint with this. So the thing with this stencil, because it has got some quite small details in, is you don't want to have too much paint loaded onto your brush or sponge or blending tool, because it will seep underneath the stencil if you're not careful. So just start off with a little bit and you can always go back and add more. And you notice I'm doing a dabbing motion rather than a swiping motion because I want the paint to go on quite thick. If I was to sort of swipe the blending tool around on the paper, then it would add a much paler version and those rainbow colours would probably show through a bit more, and I wanted it to be a much more opaque covering of paint here. And now, because this face is kind of floating in the middle of the page, I decided that I would kind of give some sort of idea of shoulders. I didn't feel particularly happy with this. The size of the shoulders, I don't know, I couldn't decide whether I wanted them bigger, smaller, I faffed about. Anyway, in the end I just decided I was just going to go for it and paint them in. Now looking at it, I think it looks better like that rather than like this, but anyway, who cares, it doesn't matter, does it? So once it was dry, I then used again the same Circles Galore A stencil with some heather paint just to break up that black a little bit on the sort of top of the body part that I've added there. Body part, the shoulders, let's call them shoulders, it sounds better than body part. Now I'm using the Signo Uniball in white and just adding the whites of the eyes in and a little catch light in the eyes, kind of brings the face to life a little bit more. And if you want to do that with your faces, it's a quick and easy way to make your faces look a bit more lived in. And then I am using a transparency from Scrap FX to add some more text onto my page. So next I'm using some Posca pens as well and adding some mark making, some dots onto the page too. Just kind of breaking up the edges of the page a little bit. Different size dots, using different size Posca pens. And then this is the text transparency. It's got different art phrases on it. And this is one, I'm just cutting one out that says, "Be weird, be wonderful, be you." And that's going to go at the top of the page. And I'm going to stick that in the page using a mini stapler. It's the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, just to get that in place. Seems to be the quickest way to do it. And there we go, that is the finished page. So lots of bright colour with a bold image over the top. Lots of fun to create. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you again, hopefully for another project for Scrap FX.